Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The Ohio State Buckeyes continue to build one of the more special classes we've seen in this 2024 cycle, landing five-star defensive lineman Edric Houston from Buford, Georgia, 6'3", 265 pounds. What you're getting here is a big, functional athlete that I think is kind of one word I describe him after watching the film is just kind of a game wrecker. I mean, this dude collapses pockets, is an absolute force in the run game. Another thing you could add to him is kind of the versatility aspect. I mean, you'll see him play on the inside. You'll see him play on that five tech off the edge. And he kind of has the athleticism and the body and the size to do it all. And Larry Johnson, I guess we'll start there. We saw a lot of Larry Johnson hate after Dylan Stewart ends up going to South Carolina. Larry Johnson continues to be one of the better recruiters on the trail. You take a look at what he's doing on the defensive line. That's now 2 5-stars, Edric Houston, Justin Scott. This Ohio State class in 2024 looking really special, and we're going to talk about a few other targets for Ohio State that could really round out this class in a meaningful way. Now, before we do again, just want to say thank you to you guys. It means so much, all the support you guys have shown during the summer on the recruiting trail. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel again. Appreciate y'all rocking with us, even the Ohio State fans. You guys have shown a ton of love to the boys. Can't thank you guys enough. And let's get into Edric Houston. And the first thing you want to talk about is like the athleticism he brings to the table. He's a track star. I mean, he ran a 55-second 400-meter dash. I mean, that is a big dude going around a track one time awfully quickly. Also an all-state wrestler, so he knows how to do the leverage, and you see that on the film. But most of all, like he puts it on the football field, and that's what you want to see, right? You can have all the athletic traits. Can you put it on the Friday nights and eventually the Saturday afternoons? Edric Houston certainly can do that. You take a look at the junior year numbers, 11 tackles for a loss, 10 sacks, over 60 tackles as a junior playing at a very high level of high school football down in Georgia. If you're kind of a sicko and you watch a lot of high school football, he played St. Francis Academy last year, last week, I should say, that Buford defense shut out St. Francis Academy, which is a top high school in the whole entire country. Edric Houston, a large part of it, had a couple tackles for a loss, also blocked the kick, so he's getting active already as a senior. Let's go dive into the junior tape, though, and just kind of get a sense of what Edric Houston is going to bring to this Ohio State program. And I guess like the first thing you talk about, again, is kind of the game record, but also the speed that he has. I mean, this is a 265-pound body. The closing speed, the violence in which he plays with, it's kind of off the charts, and you're going to see a motor on him, which I think is really important when you're talking about five-star athletes, right? If your first win doesn't move, can you come back, circle back, and continue playing football? Edric Houston certainly does that. As a Michigan guy, Aiden Hutchinson always had that, just a relentless motor. Even if I don't get to the quarterback, how can I help my team on this play? Edric Houston certainly brings that to the table. Like, you see that get off here? I mean, it's next level, and God bless that fullback tight end who has to meet Edric Houston in the hole. Doesn't really stand a chance. Using that length, making the play on the running back. Really, really good off the ball. He's a big body. You see him here bending around the edge, continuing to play hard, eventually gets the sack. Here's a play that I absolutely love. And this is like exactly what you want to see on the tape. You're going to see a run play. Benches this tackle out. Rewatch it again. You play this one up. Benches this tackle right out, full extension, uses that length, sheds the block, and able to stop the run. I mean, that's the type of stuff. You see all the traits. Can you put it on the field? Can you be a force in the run game? That's what Edric Houston, I think, brings to Ohio State. It's a physicality aspect. It's a pass rush. He's kind of the complete defensive lineman. And again, you take a look at this Ohio State front, Justin Scott, Edric Houston, going to be absolute nightmares for offensive lines to deal with. Now, I do want to take a look at this Ohio State class that's coming together. I fully advise you guys to go take a look at what Edric Houston does. You're going to see some offensive reps kind of showing the athleticism. Edric Houston, very fun to watch. Let's take a look at this class. This is the 22nd commitment. It's the 5th five-star in this class. Obviously headlined by the best player in the country, in my mind, Jeremiah Smith. You have Mylan Graham. Now you have 2 5-stars on the defensive side of the ball, too. So 2 5-star wide receivers, 2 5-star defensive linemen. The secondary is looking absolutely nailed with Aaron Scott, Bryce West. You have your quarterback of the class in Aaron Nolan, who will be a 5-star by the end of the cycle, even according to 24/7 Sports. Jeremiah McMillan, if there's one thing that you talk about for Ohio State to kind of round out this complete class, it's the offensive line. You have the Armstrong brothers. Those are two really good in-state gets. But the thing we've talked about with Ohio State is, can you kind of go nationally and get the top offensive tackles in the class? That's kind of what I want to see Ohio State do to round out this class. Before we talk about who they might target, take a look at the recruiting rankings. Ohio State, 22 commits, 5 5-stars, 14 4-stars. They are hunting down Georgia as the number one class in the country. And we talked about like the swing if you care about the recruiting race. I mean, Edric Houston and KJ Bolden were two massive swings. You miss on KJ Bolden, but he doesn't go to Georgia. And then you go get Edric Houston right in the backyard of the Georgia Bulldogs. Massive get for the Buckeyes. Now I want to talk about the fun part. That is the two targets I think Ohio State would really have high on their board to finish out this cycle. One, we're going out to California, talking 5-star offensive tackle, Brandon Baker. He started his high school senior year really, really well last Friday night. 6'5", 285, extremely athletic, big body. There's a reason he's the number one offensive tackle in the class. What it sounds like there is he took 3 official visits and he's going to take a 4th. Texas, Ohio State, Georgia, and he's going to take an official to Nebraska. It sounds like Ohio State is right in the thick of things. I know Oregon is making a push. He's been on campus there. I think Ohio State is right up there with Brandon Baker, and maybe even a more exciting guy to take a look at, Jordan Seaton, the 4-star offensive tackle from IMG Academy, looked phenomenal against Lipscomb Academy last Friday. This is a guy that I wouldn't be surprised. You talk about potential 5-stars. I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Seaton puts together a really good senior year as eventually a 5-star offensive tackle. He's going to take a bunch of visits, but he's going to be at Ohio State. Hard to get a read on this right now because he hasn't really taken his official visits yet. But Jordan Seaton, another massive target for Ohio State. And if you land just one of these guys, top 100, true top offensive tackles in this class, I mean, you're talking about one of the more fun classes that we've seen for Ohio State. And again, we're going to continue to monitor if this can be one of the best classes that we've ever seen. Again, appreciate the Ohio State fans for locking in, rocking with the boys. If you do enjoy the content, again, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate y'all, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.